pretty excited. I've been waiting a year to see the footage on this camera. Let's see. Oh my goodness, it's still going and it has 100% battery. That is freaking amazing. Good morning from the Finnish woods in early June. I am back to collect that Ceyomur CY95 Trail Camera that I left here a year ago, and first good point is it is still there. I can see it right there over on that tree, so let's go and get it. Now, sorry, you're going to have to excuse my voice. I'm just getting over a cold and I've still got a really sort of gravelly throat, and I'm several cups of tea away from being able to talk properly today because I came out straight away early in the morning. And this camera, it's still there, which is already the biggest win. Now, I'm going to get the camera open and we're going to see, well, we're going to see if we can turn it on. And I've got a power pack with me, so I can try and wake it up, and yeah, we'll have a little look. Oh my goodness, it's still going and it has 100% battery. That is freaking amazing. Oh my goodness, that's no way, no way. Look at that. I'm going to try and get the screen in a place you can actually read it on this GoPro. Maybe about there. 100% battery. Using the solar panel. It knows it's the 7th of June, 6:30. My goodness. What does it think is on the card? I'm just going to do this live. Hang on, let me get the view a bit narrower. Okay, let's put a stick in the door. Try and keep it open so we can see it. There we go. Might just be mostly reflection. Out there. One moment, it says. 482 triggers. And there's something there. Let's just scroll through. Obviously not going to scroll through 400 triggers. But there's definitely a raccoon dog, a crow. Well, we're obviously going to look at these properly later on. Oh, somebody came to have a look at it. This is absolutely amazing. I did not believe for 1 second that this thing would still be running. Absolutely incredible. I mean, it's been running for a year and it's still switched on. It's got 100% battery life, and yeah, 482. Just gonna try and scroll forward to see if we get some, if there's any winter on here. Oh my goodness. We've got snowy scenes on what looks like a hare boinging through in the snow. Yeah, okay, I'm going to stop looking at this now, but we've 100% got a whole year of footage from here. That is absolutely incredible. I had no expectation of it lasting that long. I mean, I didn't intend to leave it here for a year, but oh my goodness, what a camera. Yeah, crazy. Now, we'll have to go back and have a look at the footage on a computer, and I'll do a kind of little show reel of what we recorded and you know, talk a little bit about what the footage shows has been happening here and any other little quirks. From looking at the footage, it looks like at a certain point in May, the camera suddenly started triggering a lot at random, and I've looked at this a little bit more carefully. There's a bit of damage. If you look there, you can see that this side, one of these side sensors, has been broken loose. It's been sort of popped open, and that to me looks like a bird has pecked it open, thinking there might be insects or something inside to peck at, and so that side sensor's obviously bust, and I bet that one has been kind of oversensitive and kind of triggering lots and lots of extra triggers when there wasn't really anything in front of it. But it triggered for me walking in front of the camera to come here now, so it was still recording video mode when I arrived. Yeah, I'm just stunned. I don't know how many times I can say that, but I'm probably going to say that even more times this video, because it's been, yeah, I'm shocked. I really am. Oh, mosquitoes. Right, so the mosquitoes are getting a bit epic here just now. I've put repellent on, but I don't really want to put any more on, and they're getting in my face. So I'm going to take this camera back to the cottage. I'm going to obviously review the footage. And the broken bit, those side sensors, they can actually be turned off in the menu. So this is probably a perfectly functional camera still, just without the side PIR sensors. So yeah, might just have to leave it here for another year, somewhere else in the woods. We shall see. Cool. Talk to you again from the desk with the footage. Okay, so we're back at the desk in Scotland. Once again, it's taken me ages to actually get round to making this video, but what fantastic footage was on it. My goodness, it's absolutely unbelievable how well that CY95 performed out there in the woods for a whole year. Absolutely amazing. And the first thing I'll say is, well, it's not in my hands. I don't have it here. I've got a picture of it on the screen, but I actually left it out there. So there'll be another year. Probably more than a year, but we'll get to that a little bit later on. So yeah, the performance of the CY95, absolutely phenomenal that it was still going a year later when I went and picked it up using its solar panel. Now, looking through the footage a little bit more closely, it wasn't actually going for absolutely the whole time. There was a time in sort of December through February that there were no triggers, and I suspect what happened is that it ran out of battery because it was either covered in snow or it was just too dark, not enough daylight at that time of year. So that's brilliant that it had that feature, that it was able to run out of battery. It must have kept a tiny little trickle somewhere going in its electronics to know that it had to restart. And it saw an absolutely fantastic array of different wildlife. And I think what we should do right now in this video is we should look at that footage, and I'll tell you a little bit about what you're seeing as a voiceover while we look at it together. So the first customer at the stump seems to be this badger, and it came and had a good sniff around. It doesn't seem to be that bothered about the squirrel. I think it might be more interested in the other food that was on the stump from the previous week. Next we have a black woodpecker. Absolutely fantastic to see. Such a shy and elusive bird a lot of the time. And we have a fox coming in to have a little look. A little bit unsure about the camera setup. He's obviously seen that there's something there, but he's coming to have a good sniff. Wanted to have a little munch or something there. Oh, here we are with the badger again. It must be colder because the badger is much more fluffed up in this. And of course he marks the stump. Everything marks the stump. And yeah, this gentleman comes to have a look. He's actually Marko Nysönen, who's a relative of mine. Actually, I didn't recognise him on the small screen of the trail camera when I was looking at it in the field, but that's definitely who it is. So he's really the closest neighbour to this bit of land where he lives. We have a pine marten that comes in and has a good sniff, and of course it marks the post. Everybody marks the post. It seems like it is the message leaving place for many a creature. This is a fox coming. This is a fox cub. Oh, quite a young fox cub coming in, and that means that there probably is a den quite nearby, and there are lots of kind of rocky places just in the direction the camera's facing, just sort of further into the woods there, so that's almost certainly where the fox cub has come from. Oh, that's great to see, because we've seen foxes on almost all of the trail camera footage from this location, but it's great to see that they're obviously thriving in the area and breeding. That's fantastic. Having a bit of a chew on the top there. Nice. Night now. Here comes the fox cub, but it's not alone. There are actually two fox cubs. The second one is just coming in from the right and having a bit of a play. That's absolutely excellent. Look at that. And a raccoon dog. And this is all still in August. So far we've only been looking in July and August. Now, who's that in the background? Is that a raccoon dog puppy or another adult raccoon dog? I can't really tell. I think perhaps a youngster actually there in the background. No, maybe an adult. No, that does look like another adult raccoon dog. Here we are again at night. Raccoon dog having a sniff around, marking the post, of course, and off it goes. So here we have a black grouse female coming through, and a red squirrel. Not the squirrel that I put on the post to begin with, unless there's been a remarkable resurrection. And then a fieldfare, which must mean that it's getting towards autumn as the fieldfares start to get into their flocks and get ready to move off towards the south. In fact, a lot of them come to the UK. We see them here. A raccoon dog in what looks like it might be misty weather. This is now the beginning of September. Comes the fox again. This one looks like an adult. Having a bit of a dig there, in case there's something tasty inside underneath the wood there. And a great tit. First contact with the mighty enemy that's going to probably damage this camera. And a blackbird. Note that the Scandinavian blackbirds have dark bills, whereas here in the UK the male blackbird will often have a bright yellow bill. And the fox again. Now we're at the beginning of October, again marking the post, as we all must. Ooh, something scared the fox. And look at this, a pair of young elk, and they've come in and they're obviously playing about, playing with each other and challenging each other, play fighting. I wonder if these are the two youngsters that were with the big female in the previous video. I've got a jay. Here we are with the elk again. Absolutely fantastic to see them. Really great. And look at this fantastic fox. And it's starting to have its winter coat, so it's all puffed up and looking absolutely fabulous. Look at that. And of course, marking the post. And a hare. Interesting that we don't see a hare until now, and this is towards the end of October. This is the first time we saw a hare in the footage. And this is somebody's hunting dog, and I hope those elk have moved far and far away. There is still permission for hunting to happen on this land, based on my uncle having allowed that, but on the next occasion that permission is sought, it's going to be rejected. And here we are in the snow, and here's a hare running through on the snow, and we are on Christmas Eve of 2022. This hare running around, and this is now Boxing Day of 2022, so just a couple of triggers there right in the middle of winter. So a big gap from October until then, and then another big gap, because here we are with this hare running around on the snow. Fabulous to see it. But we are already into April, and you can see the snow's even starting to recede a little bit. So yeah, a couple of gaps there, which either the camera ran out of its battery and then restarted, or there was something covering the camera lens, because I don't believe for a moment that nothing went past in that time. In fact, there are footprints to show it. And a black grouse wandering through, a male black grouse in all its fine plumage, wandering around. You can see that after the snow's receded, all the foliage is still kind of flattened down from the snows. Oh, and that black grouse is thinking about doing some lecking behaviour there, because it's got its neck feathers all puffed up. It hasn't raised up its tail, but I can imagine it wouldn't take much for that to kind of start really displaying from there. There we are, the two there now. I've heard black grouse in that area before, so I know that this is an area that there are plenty of them. It'd be great to be there sometime in the spring and see a lek in Finland on the snow, but might be a while before that happens. Here's a hare again. The snow's started to go, but the hares are still white, and we're still in March, the end of March. Here's a fox, looking a little bit thinner after the winter, but still looking healthy, and of course marking the post. This is a roe deer walking through. It's a buck, because it's getting its antlers there. And here's a greater spotted woodpecker. It flies towards the camera, and then listen. Could this be where the damage occurred? It would certainly have a strong enough beak to be the culprit. And here is a hare, and by now, in May, they have their normal brown coats, and they've lost their white winter coat. And the badger coming through again. Everyone looks thinner in the spring after that long winter. Now we're into June. I can hear some sort of thumping, and perhaps that's pecking from the woodpecker trying to get in, and in doing so damaging the side sensor. And from that point onwards, the camera becomes very sensitive to just movements of the foliage around it in the wind, and I suspect that's because the sensor on that side no longer had a cover, and so it was just picking up movement rather than needing there to be any kind of associated infrared. That led well over 150 triggers in just the space of 3 or 4 days, even though there was no wildlife in them. But the camera was still obviously working properly, because it did record this hare, and then at the end it recorded me arriving with my GoPro to pick up the camera, and that closes the loop. That's the bit of the video that you've already seen. So back to the desk. Whew. I hope you enjoyed watching through that as much as I did, because it's absolutely incredible to have seen such a variety of wildlife in one location over the year there. And for me, getting the images with the snow, with the hare running around on the snow, was absolutely fantastic, because I never really get to go there in the winter, so it was kind of cool to see that side of things. Now, obviously in the field, I noted that the camera had got a little bit damaged, and yet we can see in the video footage that pretty much a certainty that it was that great spotted woodpecker pecking away. I don't know whether it thought that there was insects or something underneath there, or thought it was water because it was shiny, but anyway, the damage was done. And I've actually heard of other people losing PIR sensors on trail cameras to birds pecking at them, so that's kind of interesting that that's not an isolated incident. Anyway, as I said in the field, it looks like the camera still works, just without its side PIR sensors. So rather than bring it home, I put it in a different location in Finland, and it's still there now, I hope. And when I next go there, I'll pick it up, and maybe there'll be yet another video of a year in the wild with the trail camera. Because, yeah, for a camera that I was given by Ceyomur to review, been absolutely incredible. Hands down, the best camera that anyone sent me in terms of the trail cameras. Absolutely hands down the best one. It's really impressive. So the Ceyomur cameras are what you would call the higher end of the budget spectrum in trail cameras. And I did wonder what it would be like if I actually went for the kind of proper named brands high-end kit, and I wondered whether that might be even better. So I actually reached out to Bushnell and asked them whether they would let me borrow one of their 4K dual camera trail cameras, and they completely ignored me. So I bought one anyway with my own money. I just went and bought one because I figured that it would actually be really cool to try and find out, and I wanted to see what you get if you actually put some serious money into a trail camera. This thing was 250 UK pounds to buy, so a good bit more than the £100 that the Ceyomur CY95 would have cost. And it has all the features. It has literally all the things that on all the different reviewing of the trail cameras, all the things that I've sort of come to think that I would want. It has 2 cameras. It has a nighttime camera and a daytime camera, so it can be optimized for both day and night. It has 4K recording. It has decent audio. It also has proper no-glow IR LEDs that you actually can't see, whereas some of the cheaper ones, the illumination system is actually visible when it's going. And the tripod mount, I thought the tripod mount position on the CY95 was a bit odd, being on the back. Well, the Bushnell has one on the bottom and one on the back, so you can do whatever you like. You can decide where you want to mount it. And it has a host of other different features, so you can set it up to do field scans or time-lapse or photos and videos in whatever arrangement you might like. The one thing it does lack, compared to the CY95, is a solar panel. But Bushnell sell a separate solar panel that you can put on it, so I got one of those as well. And in fact, that camera is now in the same location in Finland as the CY95 was the year before. So that will also be sitting out there for one whole year, hopefully getting me even more fabulous footage to look through when I next get to collect it. It might be that those cameras are out in the field for a little bit longer. I put them out in June 2023. It's now March 2024, but we are not actually going to go to Finland until October
end of September, October 2024, or maybe not even until the summer of 2025, because this summer we're actually expecting another addition to our little family. So obviously we aren't able to travel in the middle of the summer, and after the new arrival, well, all bets are off because the chaos level will just increase. But it's very exciting. So anyway, whenever I do get to collect those cameras, it might be 2 years from when they were put out. They've both got very big memory cards in, and they've both got solar panels, so who knows? If they're not destroyed by birds or other wildlife, we might get lots more footage, and I will look forward to bringing that to you when I get it, probably several months later, because that's how it seems to go with my video making these days. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, leave a like, leave a comment, share it with your pals, because all those things are really good for the channel, as well as I love to chat to people in the comments and hear what you think and hear what wildlife you get on your trail cameras. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.